Hi, and welcome back to the course. At this point, I believe we've gone through all the necessary concepts that we need to cover to be able to build a dashboard on our own. But in this video, we are going to be together, you and I, creating a dashboard from scratch together. We're going to be working with an healthcare dashboard, an end-to-end healthcare analysis dashboard. Now, the process of usually creating a dashboard consists of certain steps, right, in the real world. Steps like requirements gathering, and basically, this is where you meet with the stakeholders that are going to um, use the dashboard or would need the dashboard and gather requirements about what they need that dashboard to show. After that, we go to data collection, where we collect necessary data to build the dashboard. Then we go to our data transformation and modeling, all those steps we performed earlier in the course. And then usually we'll create a data visualization blueprint, dashboard layout design, and then we can go and add some interactivity to our dashboard before we finally test and share the dashboard to the stakeholders. Um, Again, that's a real world concept for this project we are currently doing in this video. We would be working with an healthcare data set, like I said, and the data would be attached to this video for your download, so you can work together with me. My advice for this video is that you stay and watch the entire video and then see if you can replicate it on your own after watching the video, of course, with the video as a guide. If my steps are too fast, you can slow down the video by clicking on there's going to be a wheel sign, a cog sign. You can click on that and slow down the video so it doesn't go quite fast. So, again, I was talking about the steps that is required to build a dashboard. First, requirement gathering, right? And basically, you have to identify your stakeholders. So that's basically determining who your primary stakeholders are and people that will eventually use the dashboard. Next, you have to also understand the business objectives, right? So basically, you have to meet with these stakeholders and get an outline of the goals from the entire dashboard design and do. So basically, you're asking them open-ended questions that would help you gain more insights into um, the data and how your dashboard is going to help them achieve specific business goals. You also want to study the data at a very high level before you start initiating discussions, just so you know that you understand that data. Um, what I always advise is to make sure you understand what each column in your data describes, where can you get those data from, etc. So, in this our exercise, we have a data set, and I'm going to share that on my screen now. We have a patient data, and we have two sets of data. We are looking at inpatients and outpatients, right? We have inpatient data. Basically, inpatients are people who go to an hospital or a hospital and are admitted in that hospital. And outpatients are people who go to hospitals for treatment but are not admitted. They go and come from their houses, etc. So we have data on inpatients. We have, let's just see a sample of that data. Just give it a moment to open. It's quite large. So I have a sample of that data here, and it is CSV file, right? So let's see what the data looks like. So we have archive dates, we have specialty HIP, we have specialty names, we have case type, we have child, we have age profile, sorry, adult or child, so basically child, we have age profile, we have time band, and we have total. And that's the field in our inpatient data. We also have outpatient data. I'm going to close this and not save. We have outpatient data. and let's open that too. So similarly, we have archive date, specialty HIP, specialty adult child, age profile, time band, and total. So similar fields in both inpatient and outpatient data. Now let's sort of craft an overall objective for this our project, right? So let's assume that our objectives are three. We want to, we want to first of all track the current. So I'm going to write that down as I say it, just so I do not lose track of what I want to say, what we want to achieve. So my objectives are simple. Number one, I want to track the current status of patient waiting list. So basically, what these files are waiting lists, right, for patients. I want to track the current status. Number two, I want to analyze historical trends of the waiting lists. Right, so I want to see historical trends. And number three, I want to detail specialty level and age profile analysis. So I want to create a detailed specialty level and age profile analysis. So I want to analyze by specialty level and age profile and see what I can find there. Now, our data is from 2018. The data we have in this data set is from 2018 to 2021. And we are going to start by going to the next step, which is the data collection step. Basically, this is where we bring in that data into Power BI. So let's open Power BI, and we're just going to create a blank report. So we have a blank report, and we're familiar with our get data, and that's how we bring data into Power BI. So we have we're going to use a connector that we've not used before. So I'm going to click on get data, and again, even though our files are CSV files, so usually you would expect that I'm going to be importing each files using the CSV connector, but I'm going to do something a bit different here. And why am I doing that? I'm quite lazy, you see, and we have a lot of CSV files here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I wanted to load them, I would have to load them individually. So one file, load, go to the next, and that's stressful for me. So Power BI allows you connect to folders, and this is assuming the data the data in those folders have the same structure. So my data has the same structure. We have the fields are the same, so the columns are the same. There's no difference in columns. So that's the criteria. So I'm going to let's go back to Power BI. I'm going to go to get data. I click on all and then click on folder. And when I click on folder, I'm going to select the folder I want. So I'm going to click on connect, and it's going to ask me to select or find the folder I want. So I'm going to click on browse and go to that directory where my files are. And for me, it's in my downloads, and I think it's data mapping. I'm not too sure of the name now. So it's data mapping BG and data then inpatient. So I have data mapping BG, I have data, and I have inpatient. So I'm going to select the inpatient. So I want to import the inpatient files first. So I'm going to select the inpatient and click on OK. And I'm going to click on OK here. Again, you're going to, on your own computer, you're going to find your file path based on where you downloaded that file into, or the folder into. So here you can see my it's shown me all the available files in my folder, right? So you can see I have the name of the file, the extension, date access, date modified, date created, attributes, and the folder path. So all the files in that folder that I selected, it has given me. So there's a fourth option. So we are used to load, transform, and cancel when we are loading single data. But if you're loading multiple data, there's a fourth option called combine, right? And basically it's asking if you want to combine all these files into one. So I want to do that, right? But if you click on that, it gives you two other options. Do you want to combine and load directly, which we are used to load directly without transforming, or do you want to combine and transform? For now, I'm just going to combine and load. We'll transform later in the query editor. So let's just click combine and load. We'll click on combine and load. It's going to give us a pop-up soon. So it's brought this pop-up and we can see how our data looks like. First file, it's giving us sample based on the first file. Let me just see samples based on all the individual files just to ensure that I'm not having any issues. But I do not think I have any issues anyways. Um, I just want to be extra careful. So it looks like we're good. Looks like we're good. So we click on OK. Click on OK, and we should have. Let's click on Apply Changes. It's bringing in that data into our feel free to speed up this part of the video. So I have my data loaded. We're going to repeat the same step for our outpatient. Remember, you can see I have my inpatient folder here, and in that folder I have all my columns: adult, child, profile, etc. We'll repeat the same steps for outpatient. So to get data, we go to folder connect, and we select our path. Again, mine is in downloads. I believe it's P data mapping, PG data, and outpatient. So we say OK, and we click on OK. Same steps basically. So we do combine and load. Click on apply changes. So blah blah blah. Everything looks fine. Let's click on OK. Okay, so we have our outpatient data here. So let's do some data transformations, right? And you all know how we can do data transformation. We have the transform data option here at the top. So let's click on that. Now, basically, we want to rename some columns. We want to rearrange some columns. We want to append the two tables, and we'll be replacing and trimming some values as well. So first, um, we have a column in our. Let me move this over. In our inpatient data, we have a field called specialty name, right? And in our outpatient data, that field is just called specialty. So you see in our outpatient data, we have source name, archive date, specialty, HIP specialty, whereas in inpatient is source name, archive date, specialty, HIP, specialty name. So we're going to rename the outpatient column to match the inpatient data, so we do not have an issue when we are appending them. So let's change this. I feel like we should change the outpatient one to specialty underscore name. Let's be sure what it's specialty underscore name. I'm just gonna copy this guy here and then go to outpatients, and I'll double click on that and paste. And yeah, so we've changed that name. So now another thing is on the inpatient data, I noticed that there's an extra column imported that we do not need. So let's tidy that up. Let's remove that. Just right click on that and click on remove. So I think we're fine now. Another thing I'm looking at is the order of things. So we have source name, archive date, specialty, HIP, specialty name. Let's see if that matches to source name, archive date, specialty, HIP, specialty name. Source name, archive date, specialty, HIP, specialty name. Let's check. Next we have case type before adult child. So it's case type adult child, adult age profile, time band. Case type adult child, and this is on the inpatient. Case type adult child, adult age profile. So what that means is that for I don't see a case type in the outpatient data. So I don't see a case type in the outpatient data. Let's see what the case type in the inpatient data says. The case type says inpatient, majorly inpatient, day case. There are basically two case types, inpatient and day case. So let's create a column in the outpatient data and call it case type 2, but the values will be outpatient, right? Since again it's an outpatient case. So again, we're going to go to custom columns, right? So if you remember that, we go to add columns, we go to custom columns, and we're going to name that column case type. Oops, case with capital letter C case with a capital letter C underscore type. And the value basically is just going to be equal to outpatient. So I'm going to say outpatient. Nice. So click on OK. So we have a case type in our outpatient data. So let's rearrange it so that it's in the same form. Case type comes before adult child in inpatient. So let's go to outpatient, and we're going to drag case type to come before adult child. Case type adult child, age profile, time bands, total. Case type adult child, age profile, time bands, and total. So we're good here. We've been able to rearrange that. So now that we have our data in the same format, inpatient and outpatient, we're sort of going to append these two tables together. So we have one table that has both inpatient and outpatient files. So first of all, I see our date is not even in a date format. Let's fix that. I want to convert this to date, and it's giving me an error. Okay, so let's fix this. We're going to click on this drop down, and okay, let's sort this later. Let's append first so we can solve it on just one query. So we're going to append, and by now both our tables have the same structure, so we can append them together, right? So So to append, we would go to our home and then we see append queries. So let's click on append queries and let's click on append queries as new because we want to create a new table. We do not want to, have our appended data in one of our old tables. So append queries as new and should give us an option. So one, our first table is our outpatient table, our second table is our inpatient table. We want to say okay. And so we have our new query currently called append one, but I want to change it. Let's call it all data. So we have that query here. So we have our appended tables and let's see if everything is fine. We have archive dates. We have specialty HDP. We have a specialty name. Let me turn on my column quality. Sure, I do not have any nulls. Okay, so age profile, I have some from nulls in my age profile. So case type, I believe we should have 3, I believe. Let's look more. Yeah, so we should have 3 day case, inpatient, outpatient. Adult, child. We should have adult, child, and some people have black as their the value for adult child. Age profile. I don't believe this to be accurate. Let's do column profiling based on the entire data set. Let me see what's in it. I'm really interested. So I see an issue. We have different classes. We have 16 to 64, 65 plus, and I see that there's an issue with 0 to 15. We have 2 different values for them, 0 to 15, and that's probably because of some. So when we merged, in each individual tables, we may have had 0 to 15 written in different ways. So what we're going to do is replace the values for 0 to 15 to something just so we have the same values for both. So what I'm going to do, first of all, filter out. So let's load more. Just give repeats. So I'll filter out one of the 0 to 15s. I'm just going to select only one of the 0 to 15s and click on OK. So that's the only thing showing in my data for now. And I'm going to do something called replacing the values. So I'm going to replace both 0 to 15s to something uniform just so we just have one. So I'm going to right click on this and click on replace values. Now I'm going to replace with 0 to 15. So a different format. I'm going to copy that new format just so I'm replacing the other type of 0 to 15 to this guy as well. So I click OK and it replaces all that. Nice. So if I go back to my drop down and I do select or load more, skip the bits. And okay, I'm going to cancel this filtered row step just so I have everything back. Delete. So let's load more now. I should still see 2 0 to 15s, but one would be the new 0 to 15 and one would be the former one. So this is the new 0 to 15 with spaces. So I'm going to keep only this guy again and change all that. I'm going to keep only this guy, filter out again, and right click, replace values, and I'm going to paste the what I had 0 to 15, the proper one. Basically, I'm just trying to make sure both are uniform. So like I did before, I'm going to cancel that filtered row step and delete it. So now let's check our profile. Let's check our values distribution. See that we have proper written values there. I'll take a while to show. So now you can see we just have 3. And we have 0 to 15 classes now uniform. So we have 0 to 15, we have 65 plus, we have 16 to 64. Let's check for time bands as well. Let's load more just so we know we have the complete list. So I see 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9 months, 9 to 12 months. I see another 0 to 3 months. So which shows that we have on uniform 0 to 3 months. I see 15, I see another 3 to 6 months, I see another 6 to 9 months, I see another 9 to 12 months, I see another 12 to 15 months, I see another 15 to 18 months, and another 18 plus. So 18 plus months is even on the edge. We have 18 months plus and 18 plus months. So let's start with 0 to 3 months and just clear that up. I'm gonna start with, let me filter out just one. I believe this issue rises from the fact that we have blanks. We have blanks after some of these filters. So let's see, is there a faster way to do this? Is there a faster way to do this? Just one moment. Trying to see if there's something I could do that would help me do this faster. I believe there are blanks somewhere. That would be why, because 0 to 3 months and 0, they look the same, only that one must have a blank after it. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to try this split column by delimiter. But if I do space, okay, let's just stick to what we had. I'm going to filter out just one guy. So let's select just this guy, 0 to 3 months, and click on OK. And I'm going to copy the text, right? So I'm going to do something faster. Copy the text. I'm going to remove that 0 to 3 months and bring in this new 0 to 3 months and click on OK. So I copied the text in the former one, the first one, and then removed that from the view, brought the second one, and I want to replace the second one with the text I copied for the first one. So if I do replace values, I want to replace it with this guy. They look the same, but I promise you they are not the same. I don't believe they are the same. So let's just do paste. And if I go to that drop down now and I say let's remove filtered rows, I believe I should see just 1 0 to 3 months now because I've sort of made them alike. So let's do more. Oops, didn't work. You see how I put 0 to 3 months. Okay, so we're going to just do something to make them uniform. So I'm going to bring out the first one. I'm going to replace values. I'm going to just type in 0 to 3 months. Control C. I'm going to say OK. Copy that so I can apply that to the second 0 to 3 month kind. And let's filter. Let's remove filtered rows first. Delete filtered rows. So we're going to apply that to this other guy. So we have, this is the format we're going to keep: 0 space dash space 3 space months. So we're going to apply that to this guy as well. And so let's replace. I'm sure there's a faster way to do this, but again, I'm quite lazy, so let's just paste that in there and say OK. Again, I'm going to delete my filtered rows just so I have all my rows back, all my values back. So I believe 0 to 3 months should be sorted out now. We shouldn't have two different 0 to 3 months. So you see, we just have 1 0 to 3 months. We're going to apply same to 3 to 6 months. So 3 to 6 months, and click on OK. So see the problem with this one. This one has a space before it. That has a space before it. So I see that that's the problem. Some of them have white spaces before them. So you see, it's not exactly 3 to 6 months. This is space 3 to 6 months. So let's try something. I'm going to cancel. And I'm going to click on this column. I'm going to go to format. I'm going to go to trim. And basically what trim does is that it removes leading and trailing white spaces from each cell, because to do all that is going to be stressful. So click on trim and let the operation complete itself. Let's see. I believe that should take care of it, because the problem was white spaces. We had white spaces before some of them, so it's not seeing them as the same text. If there's a space before one and there's no space before the other, it sees them as two different texts. So let's see if trim function works. I'm going to remove my filtered rows again and delete. So let's see, hope it works. Fingers crossed. Let's load more. So yeah, see, took care of it. So we only have 1 0 to 3 months. We fixed this ourselves. We have 12 to 15 months, just one. 15 to 18 months. 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9 months, 9 to 12 months. The problem, these two is a typo problem. So we're going to just change one of them, right? So we're going to maintain 18 plus months. So I'm going to change this 18 months plus to 18 plus months. So let's select all that. Well, let's see if I have it in my view. 18 plus months. I want to do change 18 months plus to 18 plus months. My view. Okay, can't search for it. I'll just filter. 18 plus months. Just let me. So I want only 18 months plus. I want to change it to 18 plus months. So let's replace values, and it's going to be 18 plus, sorry, 10, 18 plus months, and say okay. Yeah, so I believe we should have, I'm going to delete my filtered rows again, 18 plus months. I believe all our values should have been taken care of now. I want to believe that. So let's get this drop down. So a bit more. So we have 0 to 3 months. Okay, clean. So we say okay, we're fine, and we have our totals. So totals doesn't need much of anything. So I believe we've sorted our final tables. We can now close and apply. Some new functions that you've learned so far. You've learned how to use the trim function, and you've learned how to replace values so far. So yeah, we have all our models here. We want to look at the data modeling view and see what we can do from it. So now we have all the data we want in all data. Now you would notice that something before we go into the modeling view. If I bring in a specialty name to my view, for example, drag it to view, this may take a while. It's a lot of data, so we have a lot of specialty, a whole lot of specialty, right? And what I want to do is I want to sort of bucketize these specialties. So basically sort them into buckets based on common attributes, right? Now there's a third file in that will be shared, and it's called mapping specialty. So basically in this file we've mapped out specialties to certain groups. So we sort of grouped specialties. So if you look here, we have every specialty and we've grouped them. So you can see diabetes mellitus is grouped as hormonal, endocrinology grouped as hormonal, general medicine, general surgery grouped as general. So we're going to bring in this file, right? We're going to import this file and create a model joining both queries together. So let's do that. Don't save. Don't make change. So let's go back to Power BI. And again, you know how to do this. So we go to get data. It's a CSV file. There's no need for bringing a whole folder here because it's just a file on its own. So it's a text CSV or CSV, and we want not here. We want data mapping PG. We want data mapping specialty CSV. So we're going to open that, and it's going to bring up that file for us. So we have, we can see some immediate problems, but let's transform that, right? We have column 1, column 2 instead of specialty and specialty group. So let's transform that quickly. Let's transform this quickly. So what do we need to do? You want to use first row as headers. So just click on use first row as headers. Use first row as headers. So that's what we want to do. Now we have the correct thing. Specialty group. So let's close and apply. Okay, so now we have mapping specialty here. So let's go to our model. Power BI may have automatically created a model for us based on what it recognizes. You can see it as, but we don't need inpatient and outpatient tables. I'm going to delete all these connections. We do not need them in our model because we've appended them all in our data. So it's just repetition. I'm going to delete this as well. So the two tables in our model basically are mapping specialty and the all data. We can see Power BI has created a link for us, a model for us based on the common fields in our data that it recognizes. So we can see it has matched specialty name to specialty, and it's a one-to-many connection. So I think this is about right. So now we can, you know, we could go to mapping specialty, for example, and drag specialty group to this view, and we would see our individual specialty group. See, so we have all of that. I can, drag this as a filter. I can create a filter. Here's my filter. Here's my filter. I could create a filter and bring in specialty group as a filter, and I could select one and it filters my view, so I can see all my blood specialty groups. I could see for bones, I could see for brain, see for cancer, I could see for urine, X-ray, hormonal. So yeah, so we've created a model, and that's fine. We're fine here. So our data is clean. We have a model. I think we can start, thinking about how we want our dashboard to be. So I'm going to stop this video here. And in the next video, we're going to go to the actual process of creating the dashboard, just so this is not too long. So what you can do is practice this, ensure you have everything ready for when we want to start visualizing. So stay tuned and see you in the next video. Thank you.